Welcome, citizens, to How to Write Parody Songs the CaptainJerk Way. While I can't write an original song to save my life, and a tip of the cap to those of you who can, I'm pretty good at butchering other people's lyrics, so let's get at it. How do we start? Well, first it'll take some inspiration. Not every song or idea is going to be parody song material, but once you get inspired, the real work begins. As the old saying goes, success is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. So let's go to the key points here. Inspiration. So which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Or in this case, the song used to make the parody or the subject matter. Normally, for me, it's the song first and then the parody idea comes, but not always. I personally can't just take any song and turn it into a parody. I have to have the inspiration. I guess I'm more idiot than savant. But in any case, once we get our song idea, there are several key points that we need to address. Some songs are just begging to be a parody, like in the case of Space Lord by Monster Magnet. Since my YouTube channel is in the horror and sci-fi genres, making a parody song about Space Lord isn't that big of a stretch. And since there's a lot of elements in the Space Lord song that are relevant to Star-Lord, it made parodying that song a lot easier to do. And I'll show you some examples later on of what I'm talking about. Next key point, know your audience. Who are you writing this parody for? For me, I'm going after geeks and nerds, much like myself.
Nerds. Nerds!
And so I'll add little details to the song that will hopefully cater to them. The next point, preparation. Once you have a song in mind to parody, learn the original. Study the structure of the song, the lyrics, timing, the cadence. If you can't emulate the original, then people will be scratching their heads because they don't know what song you're trying to parody. Next thing would be research. Since you know who your audience is now, learn details about your subject and how much of a deep dive you're going to need. Next, song duration. No law says you have to parody the entire song. Sometimes all you're going to get are 2 or 3 lines anyway, and that may be just enough to get your point across. This would be perfect for like TikTok or YouTube Shorts. Just go out on a high note.
All right, that's it for me. We're good, everybody.
A perfect example of this would be the Vinyl's parody I did of Agent Smith, I Replicate Myself.
And I don't want anybody else, 'cause when we touch, I replicate myself. Oh, and I don't want anybody else. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
And that actually started as the Matrix project. I wasn't even thinking about doing a parody song. And then as I was thinking about it at work, the Vinyl song, I Touch Myself, came on. And I'm like, wow, I hadn't heard that song in 10 years. This might be a great parody song. And meanwhile, while I was saying that, I was thinking about Agent Smith. And then boom, next thing you know, I Replicate Myself was born. Well, not just then. It took like hours. But you get the idea. Okay, so we have a song picked out to use for our parody. What next? Writing a parody is like putting a peasel? Writing a parody, or putting a sentence together. Writing a parody is like putting a puzzle together. Once you can find a couple of pieces that fit, the rest has a better chance of happening. First, I want to find an instrumental or a karaoke version of the song that fits my needs, as close to the original as possible. Not all instrumentals are created equal. Then I find the lyrics and copy and paste into a Word document so I can see the words, and hopefully that'll guide me to the parody. Next to those lyrics, I will begin to construct my own. Also, parody songs to me are a balancing act. I want to keep some of the original lyrics and change it up just enough to make it uniquely mine. Writing parody songs for me is a kind of a love-hate relationship. You have these heavenly highs and then these lunatic lows. It can make you a little crazy. Be careful. Some parts of writing a parody song seem easy.
A child could do it. A child could do it.
Case in point on easy.
I've been stuffed in your pocket.
I've been stuck here with Rocket.
Pocket. Rocket. We'll try to keep this G-rated, but no promises. But invariably you will run into writer's block.
The pen is blue. The pen is blue. The
careful.
Sometimes it feels like an insurmountable obstacle. Welcome to Olympus, Captain Jerk.
There's a car in the field now in a collar of flame. With 2 doors to choose, but only one bears your name.
What the hell? I have to admit, I almost rage quit writing this parody on this line right here. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? It took a long time to get over the hump here. And this is where your research comes in, right here. I mean, when you hit this brick wall, research is going to save you. And let me give you an example, because the line I got was actually from the movie where Ronan goes into his little speech.
Your wretched peace treaty will not save you now. 'Tis the tinder on which you burn.
And I'm like, clouds parted. This is what I need, so I get burn and yearn. So
A treaty for peace now, Xandar does yearn. Well, some say it's tender on which it will burn.
they're talking about fire in the original lyrics, the column of flame thing. So I'm like, okay, if you're gonna go nonsensical, I got leeway here to put whatever I want in this part. So I did. Well, I had mentioned earlier in the video that there were some similarities between the Space Lord song and the Star-Lord character. That kind of made it easier to connect the dots. One of the lines is, Star-Lord is a space traveler, so that was kind of a no-brainer right there. Another line is from the song is, Star-Lord actually does have the power to do that, because in the second Guardians movie we learned that his dad is a Celestial, the mad planet Ego, and literally does have the power to split the world in two. So that was like, okay, well, that fits. Then there's another reference.
Well, I'll shave off the pitch now and the scope of your tune.
Star-Lord likes music. He has his Sony Walkman, and he's always listening to the cassette tapes that his mother gave him. So he's very musical. It was easy to change that line to,
I've got perfect pitch now when I'm singing my tune.
and another line from Space Lord is,
I lost my soul when I fell to earth. My planets called me to the void of my birth.
I lost my soul when I left the earth. That planet calls me to void of my birth.
and then one of the big things about Star-Lord is you see throughout the films is he's got name recognition issues. He wants to be known as Star-Lord, and nobody knows who he is. So I thought this was a perfect fit also when at the end of the song where it says,
The time has come for me to kill this game. Now open wide and say my name. Star-Lord, mother.
it just like, how much easier can it get? So yeah, it was real easy to put that connect all those dots. And there you have it. Well, guys, that's it. I really appreciate you coming and checking out my video and listening to some of my madness for a while. I hope you found it informative, or at least mildly amusing. If you found some value in this, I hope you'll like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notification. And just know this.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.